Good evening, VV Nation, and welcome to the Friday video. My name is Glenn, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here, glad to have you here, and supporting the VV Nation channel. So, with that, I've got some stocks that I'm looking at. I wanted to call them stocks that could rock your world, but I think that it's more suited to say that these are stocks that are on my radar that have some interesting news behind them, which could propel these stocks into a great money-making opportunity. Now, another thing, I was doing a live stream yesterday, and one of the subscribers said to me, Glenn, you're looking at a blog. And I was like, I am looking at a blog. But a lot of times you need to know what's starting to make a stock move, whether it's up or down. And sometimes these blogs give information behind what's moving a stock. So I use that information, but I don't make a final decision until I look at the VectorVest software to hone in on where the tape is, what the real picture, no matter what the article or the blog says. I want to know what the VectorVest software has to say so that I can make a final determination. But a lot of times these blogs give us information as to why a stock is moving either up or down. So I've got a couple of stories. I wanted to put that out there because I never really thought about that, but I do use these blogs outside of just news to help me to make a decision on whether or not the news is really worth it to get into. So the first stock I'm looking at that's on my list is Insmed, PAH treatment advancement with second half 2025 top line data. So this stock is interesting because it's a biomedical stock, and anything biomedical catches my attention, especially if it's close to a study being completed or an FDA approval. But this one says top-line results from phase 2 study using TPIP for the treatment of patients with PAH expected in the second half of 2025. So this is approved for MAC lung disease, achieved strong revenue growth at Q3 of 2024, and potentially for expanded FDA, expanded FDA approval, boosting its market opportunity. So it is a filing for bronchiectasis. Man, all right. So a lot of big words when you use these stocks. So it catches my attention as a biomedical, possible FDA approval, going through some testing. That's why the stock caught my attention. Next stock I'm looking at is a couple of self-defense stocks, Jobby, but the one that I really want to keep my eye on, and I have been keeping my eye on in the background, is Archer Aviation. Different here is Archer Aviation receives praise for its robust $6 billion aircraft order book. That's a lot of money. All right, that's a lot of money. Archer was up 14.23% today. Again, stock caught my attention. Robinhood. Now let's get into crypto. Robinhood named the top crypto deregulation trade following election results. Why is this important? Because as the upcoming administration comes in, there's a lot of emphasis on crypto. The CEO of Coinbase is being tapped as possibly a crypto czar, but there's a lot of eyeballs on crypto right now. So this is an interesting story. Robinhood could have a lot of upside. Another biotech. This is an article that looks at a lot of different biotechs, but the one that I want to look at right now is Fate Therapeutics. Man, I didn't want to highlight all of that. Fate Therapeutics. Now, this is going to be an extremely aggressive play, but is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company dedicated to bringing first-in-class pipeline-induced pluripotent stem cell-derived cellular immunotherapies to patients with cancer. And cancer always catches my attention. And autoimmune disorders using its proprietary iPSC product platform. The company has established a leadership position in creating multiplexed engineered iPSC lines in the manufacturing and clinical development of off-the-shelf iPSC derived cell products, the company states. That's a lot of words. But I look at words like first in class, stem cell derived, cancer, all of those kinds of things. That's another pharmaceutical in my list that I like. And the last one, another AI stock. AI stock soars 23% on Microsoft partnership. You are seeing more and more collaborations with the main companies like Microsoft, like Amazon, like a lot of different companies lining up with AI companies to bolster themselves in that space. So, is it a buy now? I'm going to answer that question not from the article, but actually from the VectorVest software. All right, let's go put this back into program and let's bring up the software. Here's my 5 stocks. All right, they're not going to be rock your world stocks, but my 5 stocks. Now, what I always do when I look at stocks that are on my radar, I want to see if they've got momentum. All right, because if they've had momentum over, about a month's worth of time, I'm thinking that if the market's conditions are good, the news stories that were put behind it could sustain the stock's ability to continue with the momentum. So I took this list back to the first trading day of the month, right? We're still in November. The first trading day of the month, I'm going to quick test them. That's momentum. All right, there's the 5 stocks over the last month. That's the reason why, whether it's a blog or a news article, I want to see what's moving the stock. And these definitely have momentum. One of them, though, has a lot less momentum than the others. And again, this is my more aggressive play as a pharmaceutical. 31% compared to 4.5%. So I say that these stocks definitely have momentum, and a lot of the news that I looked at could be the reason why the momentum exists. I'm going to take these all the way up until now, and here they are. Archer, 13% today. AI, 8%. Insumed, up 1.5%. Hood and Fate both fell. Fate fell the most, and it is the only stock in the list that is a sell recommendation. Now, there's something else that I do like about Fate. 1, as a low dollar stock, it's undervalued. 2, it's got a relative value above 1. The stock's got good upside potential to outperform a AAA corporate bond over the next 1 to 3 years. So it's a couple of things in its favor, even though it's the most speculative stock on here. What other stock has good upside potential? Robinhood, with an RV at 1.46. Keep in mind, these indicators are cast on a scale between 0 and 2, where above 1 is favorable, and these are part of our proprietary indicators. Now, the other 3 are not fundamentally sound. Relative value, relative safety, both below 1. But Archer, it's got an RT at 1.89. The stock's definitely in an uptrend. C3AI, definitely got an RT above 1 in an uptrend. Insumed, though, actually does have an RT above 1, and Hood has an RT above 1. So 4 out of the 5 stocks are in uptrends. Again, adding to the story of if I'm thinking about these stocks, at least I know that they are in uptrends. Keep in mind, I'm using the VectorVest data. No matter what the story says, I'm using the VectorVest data to help me to make decisions. Let's graph all of these. Let's go see if they're worth being able to rock your world. ACHR, Archer, man, look at the earnings. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. Earnings rising, and this is forecasted earnings, by the way. Archer's on the move, hitting a new 3-month high. Okay. And I love the volume on it, too. Let's go to the next one. C3AI, beautiful uptrend, hitting a new high today. Volume higher than it was the prior day. Earnings per share looks good. Let's go now. This is where the rubber meets the road. No matter what the story says, I do like the move of the stock coming off a level of support, approaching a solid level of resistance at 74.34. What would I be looking for, no matter what the news says? What would I be looking for before I jumped on board? I definitely, RT is above 1. That's a favorable thing. I'd like to see it break above this level of resistance. Again, no matter what the story says, are they? I saw the other ones that I just looked at. I'd be willing to buy as long as the market's still rising. Insumed, I'd wait at least until the stock could break above that trend, that level of resistance. But it was in a downtrend, broke through it, went sideways. I'd like to see if it could break above that level of resistance. Next one, Robinhood, bottom left, top right, rising earnings, down day to day. One day doesn't make a trend, but it's got some selling pressure the day before. It's got it down right now. I'm going to give this solid stock relative value at 1.46. Let's go to relative safety. Relative safety at 0.93. Relative safety below 1, relative value above 1. This is more of an aggressive play. But I've got to stop right here, sitting at this level of support about 30.64. If you're in it, leave it alone. Rising earnings makes me feel a lot better about it. All right, going into the next stock. This is my more aggressive stock. Remember, though, RV is above 1. It's got good upside potential. Is the news or that blog enough to push the stock's price higher? Love the earnings per share. I'm looking for a couple of things to happen here, no matter what the news says. I'm looking to see if the stock can break above that level of resistance, current downtrend, and I'm definitely looking for RT to get above 1. So no matter what the story says, I'm not ready to take this stock just quite yet, but there's 4 other stocks that I feel a lot more comfortable taking at this time. So, folks, the decision is yours. You've got 5 stocks, one that doesn't look it, but you know something? I'd keep it on my radar. And once RT can go above 1 and it breaks above that trend line, I might seriously think about putting some money behind it, but not yet. So I want to go back to that story once again. No matter what I'm looking at as far as a blog or news, I always end up with VectorVest before I make a decision. Before I invest, check VectorVest. If you're brand new to the channel and you like what you saw here today, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so that you'll be alert to when new videos like this come out. And just in general, if these are stocks that you think that could help you to make some money, make sure you hit the like button. And if you think positive about some of these stocks, type the word positive. Let me know that in the chat as well. Folks, this video is over. And until the next time, see ya. Here, Black Friday, we got all the big screen TVs that we could ever want. This Black Friday here at VectorVest, take an opportunity to invest in yourself. The unbelievable price of 99 cents for a trial of the VectorVest software can put you on the path to financial freedom, and you can get whatever you want on any Black Friday going forward. www.vectorvest.com/YT.